Do people understand that BTS's success will never stop? Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy. I'm a full-time content creator and lover of everything amazing, which includes your face, good music, and BTS, of course. So I'm so excited because today we're going to be reacting to another BORACITY Magazine video. All of their videos have been super informative lately. I think I've only watched one, the one surrounding Suga from BTS, and obviously everything that he's been going through. You know, all the smear campaigns and all the negativity this poor boy has been facing. So I kind of love that they came out with another video called The Inevitable Success of BTS's Comeback, because I think that is the perfect way to tell the haters that are trying so hard to bring down an amazing group like BTS that no matter what they do and what they try, it's just a waste of time, because the power and strength of ARMY compared to the couple haters that BTS has is just incomparable, okay? So I don't know how much of this video is going to be touching on the topic of Suga. I know just like yesterday he had to make, well, he didn't have, well, I don't know who made him, but he did another apology about his first apology, and I just can't believe that this situation with Suga is still going on. It happened August 6th. We're almost at the end of August, and this poor boy is still going through it. So I definitely have a lot of Suga reactions coming up. I just want him to know how much we love him, and you know, this too shall pass. Like, I really hope that he's taking care of himself. I'm sure the other members of BTS are like definitely checking in on him, because again, nobody is perfect. So let's just focus on the good, and that is the inevitable success of BTS's comeback. So let's get cozy and let's get into it. Gotta love BORACITY, man.
In 2023, it was announced that all the members of
I already love that the song in the background is J-Hope. So cute. Okay, I need to start over because I'm already obsessed.
It was announced that all the members of BTS signed a new contract with their label Big Hit Music starting in 2025. This confirms the reunion after their military service. But I don't think a lot of people, fans or not, are truly grasping the idea of how big of a cultural phenomenon this comeback is going to be. I'm sensing that fans in the industry are expecting or predicting BTS to go back to their 2020-2021 popularity at best. Many talk about this comeback as a regular comeback in the K-pop sense of the word, but that ignores a lot of context. So I would love to start a conversation based on a very realistic analysis of this new context. And I wanted to do this video now because we're less than a year away from seeing all the members as a group again.
I'm so excited because I started my ARMY journey and they were already like all dispersed and all serving in the military. So even when I see like little clips like this where they are men now, like look at all of them, it looks so different from all of the videos I'm currently watching are like they're old stuff from when they first started out. So like seeing them and just like how they're glowing and they're just so polished, I'm so proud of them. I cannot wait to see them all back together. I'm gonna cry.
Than a year away from seeing all the members as a group again, but at the same time we don't have a lot of hints of what their comeback project and promotions are going to be like. So it's easier for us to recognize what it's definitely going to happen and not get excited by hints and clues they may give. I can hope for a lot of extraordinary things as a fan, but for this conversation, I believe it's important to get the same conclusions even non-fans can come to, because as fans, we may always be looking for the best scenario. However, you'll see that by analyzing the most simple aspects of BTS's popularity, we may still see a comeback that it's too big to even process right now. We just need to look at previous numbers, the new image their solo careers has given them, and the overall culture surrounding comebacks.
Because they literally all of them did solo projects before they went off to the military, right? That is so true, because I don't know if Jungkook did anything, like for example, let me take Jungkook. I don't know if he ever did anything that intense and like sexy. Like 7 is a hot song. Standing Next to You is just so powerful. Like, I don't know. I wonder if, I feel like their music coming back is going to be so different from like even Dynamite era. It's just gonna, I feel like it's gonna be hot. I don't know. BORACITY's right. Like, we have no idea what to expect.
I don't mean comeback in the K-pop sense. I mean comeback as it is understood in the Western music industry, which is the first release after a hiatus period. BTS is on a group hiatus because of their military service, so they are going to have their first comeback. This simple fact is already a big deal. There is a difference between popularity and cultural impact. For the past years, BTS has been both popular and culturally impactful, but not in the exact ways every fan may recognize. For example, the name of a musical artist can be culturally impactful, but they may have music or one song that is popular at best.
Why do they keep showing the Joe Bros here? Is it because they were only popular back in like Disney era? I know they're touring and stuff like lately, but really, I only know like the songs that they played on the Disney Channel. Sorry, Joe Bros. Love you though.
The same way, a song can be culturally impactful, but the name of the artist who sings the song may only be considered popular during a certain period of time or for a certain audience.
True.
With this in mind, let's recognize BTS's popularity and cultural impact. BTS's most mainstream global releases are Dynamite, Butter, and My Universe. But let's focus only on Dynamite and Butter because My Universe is a collaboration. Let's not sugarcoat this and make
I haven't heard My Universe. How am I sleeping on one of their big 3 songs? What the heck?
this very realistic. The general public knows 3 things about BTS: their name, their fans, and their 2 biggest hits. The general public knows the existence of BTS as a group. The general public knows BTS has a big fandom, and the general public knows the songs Dynamite and Butter. Some do know these songs are BTS's songs, and others simply recognize these songs and know the existence of BTS, but don't.
I feel like that's like with any group, though. I guess that's what BORACITY magazine is saying for sure. Because, yeah, I'm the worst with artist names. I always knew that Butter and Dynamite were BTS because that was like the first time besides Gangnam Style that like a K-pop song went so wild over here.
Don't necessarily correlate them, but at the end of the day, BTS as a name is well known, and Dynamite and Butter as songs are well known. These songs were on commercials, on the radio, on TV shows, on movies, stayed on the #1 position on the charts for weeks, and received Grammy nominations. After this, BTS released their See You Later project for fans, and then they started their
What is a See You Later project? I've never even heard of that. What the heck?
solo era. The solo era has not only maintained BTS's name out there, but it has also improved BTS's image. This improved image is important because now not only their name.
What the hell? Okay, I've seen the astronaut. I've seen Wildflower. Is this Jimmy with a neck tattoo?
And a couple of songs are going to be culturally impactful.
I need to watch this video ASAP. Excuse me?
Now, there is an actual possibility for the general public to recognize BTS as a strong, culturally impactful musical act. Not just a recognizable name with a couple of songs that not everyone can correlate. In my opinion, the solo projects have made BTS's upcoming comeback not only undeniably popular, but also, I predict, a bigger cultural impact than BTS quote-unquote at their peak. I mean this in terms of both numbers and reception.
I think they're absolutely correct. I think it's literally going to be crazy when they come back. Especially if they like start touring pretty soon after they come back. I think like, you know when Taylor Swift, I hate to compare it to like westernized singers, but do you know when Taylor Swift has been doing her like world tour? I am not a Swiftie. I'm sorry if you're a Swiftie, but like all I could hear, see, breathe was just Taylor Swift. And that's because Taylor Swift fans also go ham for Taylor. I don't think like Army does. So that's just like a little taste of what's gonna happen when BTS comes back.
Even as solo artists and with minimal promotions, during this hiatus, the BTS members have been able to still get #1 songs. They've gotten truly viral TikTok songs. They've gotten more positive reviews than ever. And they've also been taken more seriously by the public. Sure, the cultural impact the solo projects have are not the exact same as with Dynamite and Butter, but the few details that these two songs were missing, the solo projects complemented them.
Yep.
People said BTS could only get #1 songs as a group because of their boy band fans.
Goodbye. They all proved that wrong. Like the fact that I would hear Jungkook nonstop earlier this year and in like the winter of last year. I could not escape that man. He was being blasted everywhere, and that is a huge reason why I wanted to get into BTS more. Like, people don't understand that they're just as strong solo as they are in a group. But because they're all so humble and understand that like they can do so much more as a group is why they slay it up. They slay the house
their
down.
Solo projects proved this wrong. People said Dynamite and Butter were commercial mainstream, but they couldn't get a real TikTok hit. But Jungkook's solo project became a true TikTok hit. People doubted that a BTS Korean album could ever be critically acclaimed. But RM's solo Korean album is now basically in every album of the year list. People said that only BTS fans listen to BTS music. But thanks to J-Hope's collaborations and RM's album of the year list appearances, now the most critical music fans are actually approving BTS projects. All of these.
I hate that it takes like them like not all of it, but like a huge chunk of it is them collaborating with like big westernized creators and stuff like that for like people over here to be like, wait, that J-Hope guy was pretty cool. Like, you were just sleeping under a rock before. He's always been cool.
New aspects make BTS a more quote-unquote serious musical act, not just an impactful name with an impactful fandom and impactful couple of songs. No, an impactful musical act, impactful musical artists. Even the point about having a true TikTok hit makes the public unable to even say, how is this song so big if I never listened to it? Now the cultural relevance can be inescapable. And yes, they did all of this with minimal promotions.
Give it up for Jimin, Jungkook, Suga as
Jimmy Fallon is such an army. I love it.
If you think that the promotions for Jungkook's Golden were a lot, you have not really paid attention to the real promotion schedules by Western artists. We don't know what style of promotions BTS will have for these coming.
Also, I feel like Jungkook's promotions weren't that big. Like, I am always on YouTube and stuff, and I didn't see like Jungkook all over the place. I just heard him come up on my Spotify because his song was already so popular. And I was like, oh my God, this song is freaking amazing. And then I looked him up and I was like, this man is so fun. And then I just kind of snowballed from there. But
my personal guess and hope is that they will go back to the Boy With Love style of promotions, because they've mentioned that these specific promotion activities were part of their dream come true promotion schedule.
난 작은시 약간 그 미국 갈 때 SNL 그때가 재밌었어. 재밌었어. 투어도 하고 스타디움 투어하고 가장 꿈에 근접한 그렇지.
The Boy With Love promotion schedule was stronger than Golden's promotions, but calmer than the Dynamite and Butter promotions. However, even if they go extremely minimal, like Jimin for example, who had one single interview in an American TV show.
Yeah, why did Jimin kind of take it easy? Was he like leaving to the military sometime soon? Because even I only really found out about Jimin solo stuff because Army was going ahead and being like, Peachy, you have to react to Jimin. His album just dropped this and that. And I was like, okay, period. But I'm so glad y'all did because you put me on. Like, Jimin deserves to have his name out there more. That song, all the songs in the album are so freaking fire!
I'm still sure BTS's next comeback will have better reception and numbers. I mean, I love Yet to Come as much as the next ARMY. But if a non-mainstream, not promoted Korean song like Yet to Come is getting a Grammy nomination during hiatus, I can most certainly predict that BTS as a group is at least in the minds of the industry, and a real comeback will be successful no matter what. This is another important aspect. We need to pay attention at how pop culture treats big comebacks like this.
And that comeback, Robin, could be massive.
They do have a faithful following.
I remember that in 2022, when the news of BTS's military service and hiatus broke, some of the general public and even the media associated this moment with Elvis Presley's military service and hiatus.
Oh my God, Elvis had to do the military service too? I had no idea. I guess it was a different time back then, but damn. it's funny because I feel like it's not like, I don't know. I don't know a lot of artists that do like comebacks. Maybe again, I live under a rock. The biggest one I can think of is like when Paramore went on hiatus for years and then they came back. But even their comeback wasn't as strong as I hoped as like a huge Paramore fan. But just like knowing ARMY and knowing the media, BTS's comeback is going to be next effing level. It's going to be insane.
Really do have to go back to Elvis Presley to think of a pop music act of this magnitude putting on the brakes and entering the military at the absolute peak of their popularity.
Many mention how Elvis's hiatus, military service, and comeback improved his image, expanded his appeal to a broader audience, and made him even more popular. And if BTS is saying the truth about coming back as a group, they can have the attention of the news of a celebrity coming back after going to the army.
What do they mean if what BTS is saying is true? Is there any reason they would not come back as a group? Like, is that something that I should be mentally and emotionally preparing myself for? That they're just gonna all be back from their military service and be like, you know what? We're just all gonna be solo artists. Like, should I be prepared for that? Because I'm not prepared for that right now.
Just like Elvis Presley. This was back when there was no 2025 contract, so the media was still very unsure if they were actually coming back. However, I don't think the metrics of Elvis Presley's hiatus and comeback are the same as BTS's hiatus and comeback. The music industry is vastly different now than what it was in the 1960s, and I don't believe BTS's upcoming album can be compared to Elvis Presley's Elvis is Back comeback album. However, the fact that this association was even mentioned by the Western general public as soon as the news of BTS's military service and hiatus broke shows that comebacks are still a big deal in pop culture today. I think it's more appropriate to look at an example from this century and from a group, because the dynamics of a group and a soloist are different. The Jonas Brothers were not as big as BTS as a global cultural phenomenon. The kids who grew up during their Disney Channel era can definitely recognize some of their most popular songs. But the group couldn't really establish a mainstream song that your parents or non-Disney kids could recognize from the radio in any part of the world, like Dynamite, Butter, and songs from other mainstream groups like One Direction. Don't get me wrong, the Jonas Brothers had a lot of fans, but not enough to have worldwide stadium tours like BTS. Despite this, when the Jonas Brothers had their big comeback with the song Sucker,
but Sucker was only Nick Jonas's song. Unless they were like helping him, but I swear Sucker for You was just Nick Jonas's song. I know they all perform it now that they're like back together fully as the Jonas Brothers, but like when they broke up, only Nick Jonas actually went and had a pretty successful like solo career. And that's why I feel like Joe and Kevin were like, yo, Nick, let's get back together. And I heard in an interview that even Nick was like kind of off put of the idea at first, and then he kind of warmed up to it. But like, yeah, even this was all Nick Jonas because he was the most popular brother growing
in
up.
2019, for the first time ever, they got a Hot 100 #1.
Oh yeah, no, it says the Jonas Brothers. I always thought that was just a Nick Jonas song. Is this like Mandela effect? What is happening?
And one of their songs finally received a Grammy nomination. Even people who didn't listen to the Jonas Brothers knew that the Jonas Brothers were having a comeback. This is because comebacks are exciting for the music industry. Comebacks after a period of hiatus are a huge topic of interest in.
You know what? I was a fan of the Jonas Brothers when I was like a kid in like camp rock era. But when they were coming back, I was like, oh, cool. Like, I don't know. I was like, sometimes I feel like a group makes a comeback and it's just been too long. And I think that's what happened with them. I was like, y'all, I'm past the phase now. You just missed the cutoff, but I'm past the phase of loving you. Sorry.
Even if the comeback song is not revolutionary or unique, the simple fact of it being a comeback song makes it newsworthy. Just like the news of a hiatus, the media will talk about the news of a comeback.
My hair is a
so
mess
promotions
today.
or not, there will be articles, there will be reviews, and there will be numbers. If the comeback of the Jonas Brothers had such a big impact, imagine what BTS's comeback can achieve. BTS already has #1 songs in English and Korean.
Wait, oh my God, I always forget they were in Savage Love. That's crazy. That is actually crazy. I don't know if I've heard My Universe. I must have, because if it's Coldplay and BTS, I must have. I just don't remember.
BTS already received multiple Grammy nominations while promoting and during hiatus. In other words, soccer gave the Jonas Brothers all the numbers, visibility, and success a comeback era can offer. But BTS already went through their soccer era in terms of success back in 2020. So the benefits of a comeback era will be bigger for BTS than for the Jonas Brothers. This is what I mean by the inescapable success
They're so
of BTS's
cute.
comeback. At the
I am slacking on so many performances. Every time I watch like a new video about BTS where it's more like docu-series style, like this one, I see so many performances that I'm like, I need to watch that and I need to watch that. And there's just so much.
end of the day, promotions or not, and whether the project is in Korean or English, the big question is still, what exactly are they going to release?
Yeah.
What style of music will they go with next? I remember that the conversations when BTS were first leaving for the military were focused on a shift on their music. This shift was expected to be more mature and maybe have less or no dancing at all.
Why though? I love their
Then
dancing.
Bang PD said that the BTS members were planning to release a special project for the 10th year anniversary of the most beautiful moment in life. Whether they sign again with Hive or whether they sign with other label.
We said to each other, let's make sure we put out a 10-year anniversary album and a project. If they hadn't signed with us, they still would have released it, just not with us. They would have done it with somebody else. This is the first time that I am mentioning in public that there is going to be a 10-year anniversary in a project.
Bang PD also mentioned that BTS wanted their absence as a group in the music industry to be a turning point in their careers.
2018년 초반부터였고 상당히
BTS and I were talking about this since early 2018, so it's been long discussed and we're not done yet. Ooh.
최근에도 그것에 대한 논의를 하고 있기 때문에
It's crazy how in advance they plan for stuff like this.
오래전부터 준비가 돼 있어요.
We've been prepared to turn this into a turning point in their career. They can't remain the BTS of today. They need to grow and change as artists. Oh, I love that the CEO of Hype, is he the CEO? It says Hype Chair. Like, understands that. Like, changes need to be made. I think that's how fandoms grow. That's how artists need to grow. It's scary because sometimes an artist will change their sound and so many people will drop an artist that they've loved for a long time, but honestly, I feel like those really aren't like true fans. Like growing up, just comparing to bands I used to listen to, like Linkin Park, they went through so many sound changes. And yeah, sometimes it's like a learning curve getting to love it, but then you just listen to it enough and you're like, wait, no, that's my artist. Like they're in there. Same with Paramore. So many artists. I love it. I love it because it's cool to see what they're capable of. I feel like I get so bored with music when people just do the same thing over and over again. Like you gotta take risks in this life.
아티스트의 성장에 따라서 음악적인 변화, 여러 가지 변화들이 필요한데
Until recently, the BTS members were still mentioning that this project is a priority for them.
저희끼리 얘기했던 것 중에 어쨌든 2025년 대부분의 멤버들이 복귀할 해일 거고 그다음에 이제 화양연화라는 저희의 기념비적인 어떤 회사가 10주년이 되는 해기 때문에 화양연화가 10주년이 돌아오니까 그때는 무언가를 할 수 있을 것 같지도 않을까 뭐 이런 생각을 했었잖아요. 그것들을 좀 잘 지키려고 노력하지 않을까.
These are strong signs that the predictions of a lot of armies at the beginning of the hiatus were true. A project like the most beautiful moment in life may be more serious in terms of
I haven't seen the most beautiful moment in life. Was that an album? Was that a song? Was it an era? Right now I'm watching all of BTS's music videos in chronological order, but I did kind of get strayed away by like Are You Sure? And also their solo projects right now. I just have V to react to last, but oh my God, I'm slacking. There's just not enough time in the day, y'all.
production and songwriting. It may have mostly R&B and alternative songs, and it may also be in Korean only. However, during the hiatus/solo era, a lot of things have changed. More than change, I think they have progressed. To start, many of the BTS members who fans may think were not comfortable singing in English chose to release solo songs and albums in English.
That was crazy. Like whenever I listen to like Jungkook's songs on his album, I'm like, oh, he's speaking speaking so much English in this song? Because I'm so used to them only speaking a bit of English and then like mostly in Korean. And then I don't even realize that the whole thing is in Korean until you guys tell me in the comments. You're like, girl, the whole freaking album is in Korean. I think same with Jimin too. Like that is so freaking impressive.
And I truly
It's just funny because like you see them talking to each other on Are You Sure, Jimin and Jungkook, and their English is like so freaking cute. It's definitely not like super fluent, which is okay. I love them. But when you hear them sing, you cannot hear that they struggle with English at all. They sound so fluent.
love Dynamite and Butter, but the recent English projects are much more stronger. In other words, growing artistically does not necessarily mean going alternative.
The microphones. Sorry, I've watched so much Jin performances and his pink sparkly microphone, and you guys have told me they all have designated colors, and I'm finally seeing it for the first time ever. So Suga's got the black sparkly, Jin's got the pink sparkly, V's got the green sparkly, Jungkook's got the blue sparkly. It looks like Arm has like a silver sparkly.
And non-mainstream and serious, which is what I saw a lot of ARMYs predict at the very beginning of the hiatus. The same applies to the choreography aspect. There were some ARMYs making comments about BTS not dancing anymore because they cannot do choreographies forever, and maybe they are tired of it. But during the hiatus/solo era, we saw all the members dance.
Jungkook's dancing for like standing next to you went so viral. It was the hottest TikTok trend. It was my favorite TikTok trend, just seeing so many people do that dance because that dance was so challenging. But like when people got it right, it looked so freaking good.
Including members who have this stereotype that they are not as comfortable dancing. Suga had a choreography for his lead single. Jin danced on stage one day after his military discharge.
Oh my
danced
God,
for a
he
collaboration.
did?
He also kind of danced around for one of his music videos. And most importantly, he continued practicing dance. So did V. He is still dancing while in the military.
Wow.
My point is that just because Bang PZ said that the BTS members wanted this hiatus to create a shift in their careers,
I feel like literally they're creating the perfect shift. Like before that, they were just known as, like in the Western world, mostly as like a boy band, BTS. You don't really know the name of each individual member. They're just BTS. Now they've all made such a like beautiful, intensely like strong solo image of each of the members too. So when they come back, you're gonna be like, everyone's gonna have a bias or everyone's gonna be OT7. You know what I mean? Like, I think that them doing like solo projects was the best thing they could have done in their careers, because it also showed like we're not boys, we are men. Like Jungkook made sure to tell us like, I'm a man, y'all. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And Jimin too, with Who and all of his performances and songs that he's released too. It's like, man. RM talking about his like struggles in that beautiful song Wildflower. Man. Like they're all just, it's just the perfect shift. I think they've done it. They're just so good at everything that they do. It's crazy.
Maybe be taken more seriously, it doesn't mean that they will fully stop all the aspects that makes them a fun mainstream group. They can still do music in English with choreographies and be taken a lot more seriously. And they can also release a calmer album like The Most Beautiful Moment in Life and go mainstream with it. During this hiatus, and thanks to TikTok, songs in Korean, Japanese, and many other non-English languages have gone mainstream. So the language barrier is not as big of an obstacle anymore, at least not for the general public. Being taken seriously with a non-English project is another barrier that BTS has already started to break, and I think a comeback label can finish the job. At this point, the success and cultural impact of any type of comeback project from BTS is inescapable. Every hint BTS has given about their upcoming comeback includes some sort of promotion, starting with the fact that some members are going to the military 3 or 4 years earlier than they should. I don't think this big of a sacrifice that no one in the industry has done before will come with mediocre promotions.
상당히 긴 시간을 준비해왔고 최근에도 그것에 대한 논의를 하고.
I didn't know that some of them went to the military so much earlier. Could they have they requested to go earlier so that they could all kind of be back together around the same time? That is so smart.
However, on the other side of the argument, BTS has mentioned again and again that the first thing they want to do is a 10th year anniversary project for The Most Beautiful Moment in Life. Who knows, maybe we'll get both a mainstream English project and a fandom-focused Korean project. At this point, we may even get a new type of mainstream Korean project. Whatever it is, everything suggests that it will be too big to even process right now. The word comeback will be attached to the project, and that is enough for it to be a headline and considered for awards. Just look at everything they've achieved with non-mainstream projects, with no promotions and during hiatus. Of course, there are certain achievements that I can hope for, but I'm not sure they will happen because certain parts of the industry are unpredictable. I'm not even going to talk about my hopes or what I wish could happen. I'm talking about the inescapable. And at this point, the inescapable is cultural impact. People will know about the existence of this comeback just because it's a comeback from a recognizable name. We don't even know what the project is going to sound like, but I know for sure that it will achieve many of the dreams Chapter 1 BTS and ARMY did not even think could come true.
Oh, I love that. I love that they didn't really focus on all the negativity that is going on or like any negativity at all. Like BORACITY Magazine was just speaking straight facts. And I think I saw like even in the comments, some people were like, or maybe it was the comments of a different video that there's less than like 300 days until they all come back together. But I think it's so important that they are talking about the inevitable cultural impact that will be BTS's comeback, because already they have made huge cultural shifts as a group, from becoming so big in South Korea and, you know, not going down the traditional paths to becoming so big in the westernized world. Like, it's just so weird to like love BTS as much as I love them now. And remember like 2016 to like 2021 when they were so freaking popular out here in Canada. Okay, I can't even imagine in like America or anywhere else in the world. And that I would listen to them all the time, but I wasn't queuing in that it was BTS because I've never really been like that person to like be like, oh my God, who is this? Let me listen to more. Even though I kind of did for a little bit. Like I told you guys, I listened to like Fake Love, and I think like Boy With Love a lot. Like I always had those songs on repeat, but that was like the peak of it. But it's so true. When they come back, I am so excited. I feel like it's literally gonna be like our version of, something like Elvis or like Taylor Swift times a million. It's just going to be something that none of us can really predict exactly how it's going to go down, but all we can hope for is the best for the boys, and that is all that matters. Just sitting here thinking like how crazy it's going to be and how many fans each of the boys have developed for themselves, let alone as a group. Like, they're just so smart the way that they do it, because their solo projects, of course, give them more fans, but just the way I was streamlined from loving Jungkook to then loving BTS to then loving other members to then loving BTS more and wanting to learn about them. It's just so nice to see like a group of boys never competing with each other, always wanting each other to have success. Like, I don't know. I've just never seen something like this in my life. And I'm just so freaking excited that they don't ever let the negativity get to them. Like, I'm sure they do, but they always choose to rise above the hate and just do what they can and turn it into beautiful art so that their haters can keep on crying. But oh my gosh, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Please drop a comment, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. I would love to know your thoughts on this video, your thoughts on what you think BTS's comeback will be like, and just what you think their vibe is gonna be like. I wonder, I feel like they've gone down such a like elegant path lately. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like such a loving, it's gonna be so ARMY focused. These are my predictions, like ARMY focused. Just like, hopefully they talk about their experiences, because I know I'm curious how they're doing out in the military, and I would love to hear more about that. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll have all my socials in the description below. Make sure you stay hydrated, make sure you take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends. I'm out.